Hi, thank you for coming and visiting me at Crazy Blonde Publishing. Today I'm going to be going over the Palia Digital Gaming Guide. If you were watching this, you probably purchased it and saw the video in the welcome page of the spreadsheet. So welcome, this is going to be a brief overview of all the tabs, and then later on there'll be more videos of or more in-depth of each tab. If you're new here and you haven't purchased this, you're more than welcome to follow along. If you use code YouTube, you'll get 20% off at the Etsy store. My links will be down in the description. So let's go ahead and get started. So after you purchase it here from Etsy, you will be sent a PDF. You'll go ahead and you'll open that PDF and you'll see here that I'll have the last time I updated it and what I added in that update. And then you'll see your light version and your dark version links, and then this will go over how to add it to your own Google Drive. Now I'm not sure how it works in Excel or Numbers. I recommend just keep using Google Sheets. It may mess up if you transfer it to one of the other spreadsheet things. I'm not 100% sure. You can try it out for yourself and see how it works, but I made this specifically for Google Sheets because it's so versatile and it's free, so you don't have to pay for it for like Excel and stuff. And then if you scroll down, it'll tell you that if you want to be notified with future updates when I fix anything or add anything new that they add into the game, like how they just added the Royal Highlands, you can just click here and it'll bring you to just this Google form. Pardon my speaking. And if you just scroll down, you'll just enter in your name and email address and then give me permission saying it's okay for me to email you, and I will email you letting you know that I updated it, and I will resend these two links to you so you can have the updated version. In a later video I'll show you how to add the updates to your current Google Sheet, that way you don't have to start from scratch. It's pretty easy. So once you do all that, this will just go over some other things that I've done, and then yeah, yada yada, nothing important. And then so once you figure out which one you want, you just click on the link here, and then you'll see that it will open up the Google Sheet that you picked, and at the top it'll say the last day that I updated the Google Sheet, and you'll see it'll be in view only mode. So that means you can't edit it or do anything to the Google Sheet itself. So in order to be able to edit it and make it your own, you'll go over here to File, you'll hit Make a Copy, and then you can label it whatever you want and then save it in your drive. I'm just going to leave it like this, and then I'll say Make a Copy. And then it should open it up in its own tab for you to edit in your own Google account here. And then you'll see you'll be able to edit and play around with it as much to your heart's content. And yeah, so that's how to add it to your Google Drive there. So once you get all that done, you can exit out of all this other stuff and then finally play around with your Google Sheet. Now for the characters, depending on the screen size, I usually have it at like 50% so I can see all of them at kind of once while I play the game and I go through and I add everything. Sometimes 75%. So here you can add what your friendship level is with everybody, and then your romantic level, and then their first, second, third, and fourth requests for the week. So you can do a quick glance there instead of constantly opening up that other menu. And then weekly wants, I have this organized by each section, so if you're going out fishing, you'll know exactly what fish you need and for who. So like, I don't know, you need a ancient fish for Enar, and there you go. And then you can even write a note saying what time of day or where to catch the fish if that helps you. And then you can just mark it off as you go. And if you're doing a big cooking spree, cooking, you know, you get the gist. And then over here we have the garden tab. I will go over in more detail how to edit this and make it more yours. But what I do is I click on the fruit and I do Control copy or Control C, and then I do Control V, and then it pastes the blueberry, and then I just put it wherever I want. And since blueberry is 4, I'll do it four times, and then so like this would be a blueberry bush, so that would be 1 blueberry. Or if you want, you can not do that, and you can make it bigger and be like, this is my blueberry bush that takes up 4 squares. So however you want to do it. And if you really want to get into detail, you can add how the fertilizer works and how it'll affect each square. I include this in-depth one that kind of shows you like, hey, blueberry gives you the harvest boost, tomatoes, you know, does that, and yada yada yada. Or no, this gets a harvest boost because of what's around it. That's what it was. Yeah. Like I said, I'll go over that in more detail later. And then you have your reference sheets for bugs, the name, the time of day, where they're at. I'm sure the values might have changed. They kept changing the values. I haven't kept up with that, so take that with a grain of salt there. And then we have the fish, of course, same thing, time of day, location, and then what kind of bait they use. And then of course the crops. And I have the harvest times. I haven't checked recently to see if those have changed. I haven't even added the berries or pumpkins, so I guess I'll have to go back and look that up to see if they added that. And then same with cooking dishes. You'll see I have a checklist here because I like to know if I've made all the dishes in a regular or a star, because I'm weird like that. And then I add a how to get the recipe if you don't know how, or Google it and figure that out, and then what the cooking method is. And then Gatherables, same kind of thing here, and then materials. So hopefully that's helpful, a quick reference so you don't have to constantly Google. I love the Palia Wiki page, but it's hard jumping around everywhere all the time, so it's kind of why I made this, to condense everything. And then you'll see the treasure chest here. Spoiler alert for anybody who's new to the game, this might spoil if you like to go hunting the hard way. I did like hunting, trying to find the treasure chests myself, and then I went through and I made sure to see if I missed any. And I will go over to show you how I use this. I usually keep this at like 125 or even 150 so I can see the map itself better to see the location. So the location will be where the little blue arrows are on the map. And then we'll have the Vault Bundles checklist. So this one was really helpful for me. I still haven't even finished all the vaults, but at least I know where I'm at in all the vaults. And then when I check them off, they kind of gray out so I don't think about them. And so they're all color-coded for the waves and the flames and the roots and the glades. So that has been very helpful for me, and hopefully you'll find it helpful as well. Same thing with the mandolin chests. I include a picture of what it looks like in the game, and then where it is on the map, because it can be a little confusing with just the map one for these ones. So they did well at hiding these. So same kind of thing, and then it just kind of grays out when you're done. And then I have the Elderwoods area. So I added where the fastboard locations are and what square they're in, along with a picture of the map, since you have to go find them to activate them. You may have already done that and not even care about this, but it's there for your will. And then the Royal Highlands, same kind of thing. I have where the fastboards are located and then what the names of the sections are. And then you'll notice this one over here called Dropdowns. You don't have to mess with this tab at all. Just do not delete it. You can hide it if you like, but it is needed to input all the information on the characters and the weekly wants. So that's where all that information comes from, is over here. I will go into another video on how to edit this if you are so inclined to do your own updates, because I know I am slow at updating and keeping things up to date with this. So that is your overview of this document. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or leave a comment down below, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you again, and if you haven't already purchased it, it's in my Etsy store, link down below. Use code YouTube for 20% off, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks! Bye!